we had on one of the evenings, I can't remember which one now because it's all such a blur. I mean, I've just been living on jets and going 24 hours a day. But we were sitting out on this sandy area there in the San Luis Valley, and near the just north of the Great Sand Dunes, if you know where that is. And to our east are the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, but they're fairly close because Crestone, Colorado, is right up against the mountains. They go straight up from there. And in fact, many of the buildings in Crestone are in the foothills as you rise up. And we're sitting from where our site is, where we do our contact work, is about 8,000 feet elevation. And the mountains go up to a little over 14,000 feet. And as we were sitting there one evening, we began to notice these brilliant white, almost diamond white lights up at 12, 13,000 feet or more up on these impossibly sheer cliffs and high areas of the mountains. And so we began to signal to them, and they began to signal back. And at one time there were 3 or 4, and some people felt there were 5 of these craft that were up there. And they were kind of luminous plasma-like craft, and they were, to be bright enough to be seen at that altitude and that distance, they were quite substantial. And during part of this whole exercise, we're there with these objects lit up that we're signaling to. All these electronic detectors are going nuts, with energy that's flowing through them from infraspace, like I said, on different spectra, but at the same time. And then suddenly there's this brilliant burst of light, and about 5 feet outside our circle, and I guess there were about 35 people there was this soccer ball, basketball-size orb that was actually an ET spacecraft that was shifted into this orb formation that burst 5 feet outside our circle and was so bright that it was just utterly blinding. And some people saw it kind of greenish, and others saw it really as very kind of a bright, brilliant blue-white color. I was looking through some night scopes, so it was just utterly blinding. In fact, it knocked out all the light cells in this night scope for a few seconds because it was so bright. And then it became this craft that was all around us, and the temperature went up remarkably, and there were changes in the atmosphere so that afterwards we could actually hear distant streams as if they were inside some big domed space with us. That then created the sense that we were in this vehicle. Although it was translucent, you could see all this subtle energy and lights moving all around, and then there were these ET beams that moved through the group and that would blip in and blip out. So it was just this amazing, very, very close encounter and contact. But it started with these electromagnetic devices going off the instant we got on site, and then was followed by these brilliant lights up in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains that then, one of them just in an instant, I mean faster than you could blink an eye, appeared 5 feet, literally 5 feet outside the group and burst forward. So this is the sort of thing that's happening all just in the last few weeks since I've had a chance to do the World Puja Network interviews. And we're just really excited about it. It's almost at the point of overwhelming in terms of the rate of change and the kinds of beautiful things that are happening.